BTX might be one of the only blockchains on Earth a quantum computer can't break. It mines with the same matrix math that powers AI. The engineering is real, the gold is real, and almost nobody can sell a single coin. We didn't just read about this one. We ran the node, ran the pool, shipped our own miner, and tore the proof of work apart. We're even holding around 560 coins we can't cleanly cash out. So when we tell you what a BTX is actually worth, we've earned it. This coin's own website says it's worth $41. We mined it ourselves, and we can't cleanly sell it for one. Today we take BTX apart. And unlike almost everyone talking about it, we didn't just read about this one. We ran the node, we wrote our own miner, and we even stood up our own pool. It's on standby right now, no miner pointed at it. Right now we hold around 560 coins we can't cleanly cash out. The engineering is real. The market for it barely exists. This is the anatomy of an early coin. So what is BTX? At its core, a from Genesis fork of Bitcoin knots. 21 million coins, 90-second blocks, with two new organs. The first is the signatures. Normal Bitcoin leans on elliptic curve keys secured by one hard problem, the discrete logarithm. A quantum computer running Shor's algorithm cracks that in polynomial time, rebuilding your private key from your public one and draining your wallet. BTX signs instead with ML-DSA, the lattice scheme NIST just standardized. Its security rests on short vectors in a high-dimensional lattice, something no known quantum algorithm shortcuts. And here's why we trust it. Last month, we tore apart a coin whose post-quantum signatures were forgeable from the public key alone. So this time, we read the code. The signatures are real, and the check is consensus enforced. So how do you actually mine a BTX? Here's the real computation. Take the block header in a non-C. A cryptographic hash stretches that seed into two matrices, A and B, each 512 by 512. You multiply them, A times B. Every nonce also gets its own tiny low-rank twist, so no two compute the same product. You compress the result into a 32-byte digest and ask one question: is it below the target? If it is, you found a block. If not, and almost always, it's not. You bump the non-C and run the whole matrix multiply again, billions of times a second, until one digest finally slips under the line. But these aren't ordinary integers. Every number lives in a finite field, modulo 2 to the 31 minus 1, a Mersenne-prime. Two reasons that matters. First, a Mersenne-prime makes the modulo almost free. Instead of dividing, you just fold the high bits back in. Second, in this field, 2 to the 31 equals 1. A quirk that lets you slice each number into bytes and feed them to AI tensor cores. So the work genuinely looks like the math inside a neural network. But keep one word in mind, looks. The matrix is shaped by a hash. It isn't a model learning anything. Hold on to that. It comes back when we open the engine ourselves. For a coin this young, the tooling is genuinely good. 3 independent miners compete. Easy. BTX gave Apple Silicon a 4 to 5 times speedup. Matador covers every NVIDIA card, and DEX. BTX streams live telemetry to the pool. The network is alive. A block every 90 seconds, peers on 4 continents, but 2 honest asterisks. On the day we checked, a single pool held about a fifth of the whole network, and the official guide itself warns the mining link is plain text. Someone on your Wi-Fi can quietly swap your payout address. Now we stop reporting and show receipts. We rented one RTX 4090 and ran 3 miners on the same card, the same day. A naive build did 11 mega nonces a second. The open NVIDIA miner 24, the closed champion Aria 38. Then we shipped our own. 2 instances per card in a fused kernel, and we matched Aria. We matched it, we did not beat it. Here's why. Everyone races to speed up the matrix multiply, so we did too. 3 times faster on that digest, bit exact. The miner gained nothing. 0. Because in real mining, that digest runs for barely 1 nonce in a 250,000. Over half of every nonce is just SHA building the matrices, a silicon wall. The race is on the wrong kernel, and BTX's own tuning notes agree. So what's a BTX worth to you? That $41 isn't a price, it's a formula, and nobody will buy it from you at that number. There's no exchange and no liquidity pool. The chat shouts $20, the real over-the-counter market clears around $3, and it dumps to $1, then 20 cents, when someone gets desperate. By the community's own count, 99% of them are sellers, which means if you buy in, you are somebody else's exit. A market where everyone sells and no one buys doesn't have a price. It has a door. And those 560 coins we mined? $23,000 on the website, maybe $1,700 in real life, if we can find one human to take them. And even $3 is dangerous. With no exchange, every trade happens in a Telegram group with no sheriff. Anyone with the invite link can read the whole history, copy the escrow ritual word for word, and clone an admin, photo, and all. Join, and within minutes, a stranger offers you a great deal. That message is the scam. So here's your rule. Treat every direct message as a trap. Assume escrow won't save you, and know there is no one to call when the money's gone. The code is real. The market around it is a minefield. If you walk in armed. So here's the verdict. For you, not for them. Put it on a scale. On one side, the technology is real. Post-quantum signatures we checked ourselves. An AI-shaped proof of work, 3 competing miners. On the other, as a place to put money right now, BTX is a trap, no way out, a price that's pure fiction, and predators in the only market that exists. If you mine it, mine for conviction. Expect to hold it forever and never risk a dollar you need back. And to the miner typing $20, let's go. At 3 in the morning, we're not here to sell you a dream. We're here so you walk in with your eyes open. The gold might be real. The town to sell it in isn't. That's the anatomy. The rest is on you.